Today we're going to be opening a Magikarp, Gyarados, Poncho, Pikachu exclusive Japanese Pokemon Center box. These boxes came out in 2015. This was actually the very first box that came out for the Ponchos. It was during the XY era. They kind of ran into the Sun and Moon era, and this was really the start of showing what could be for Japanese exclusive promo cards in general, and more specifically for Pikachu promo cards. These boxes were followed up by Charizard, Mega Charizard X and Y boxes that came out in 2016. A Rayquaza box that came out also in 2016 with two of the Rayquazas. Um, Also, there were Team Skull Pikachus, Mario and Luigi Pikachus, Vulpix Pikachus, and then some other sort of half art cards and boxes as well. Um, this was sort of the golden era of Japanese exclusive promotion cards. These boxes used to retail for, I think, 2,500 yen, which is probably $17 back then, maybe 20, $25 USD today. Now these boxes are going for extreme prices. Even back in, I'd say, early 2025, 2024, you could pick up these boxes for probably three to maybe $5,000 or $6,000, depending on which one it was. Now, if you're looking on eBay or some of the auction sites, and even vendors, like, it's just hard to find these at card shows. I would say the supply has dwindled to the point where there's just not a lot left on market. A lot of people are opening them, um, as well as, I guess I would say, a lot of people are probably holding them that have them as well right now. Just with the price of the cards and PSA 10s kind of skyrocketing this year, most of the cards have doubled, some of them a little bit more. There's kind of a little bit of a pullback over the last couple months, and they seem to be going on a run again. I would expect them, not investment advice, but I would expect these Poncho cards in PSA 10s and black labels to continue to go up as we move into the 30th anniversary, especially given that there's going to be 30 exclusive Pikachu cards in that 30th anniversary set coming out at the end of September. And as collectors are looking for these, rare cards, most of these cards in PSA 10s are sub, 2,300 pop for PSA 10s. And then the gem rates are, range anywhere from in the 80% all the way down to like the 40s, depending on sort of what box, where the cards sit in the box. A lot of those submissions to PSA were back when these cards in 2019, 2018 were selling for $50, $100 in PSA 10s. So damage could have occurred. Not a lot of people are opening these up anymore, just given the fact that even though the print quality is really good on these boxes, um, you know, being off center specifically for, I would say, the Rayquaza box is sort of notorious for being off center. And now that you're paying, it used to be you could buy these boxes for under, I'd say, 20%, maybe 30%, as early as the beginning of this year in January, really, under the PSA 10 prices of the promos in the box. Now these boxes are going for, almost the same amount as the PSA 10s. So sort of the arbitrage play on grabbing these boxes, you know, rolling the dice in terms of, whether you're going to get nines or tens, since that barrier to entry, that floor has increased so high now, it's really difficult to, for most people to want to do that, just given the fact that your chance of losing money is much higher than before, and there's not a lot of upside even if you do manage to get PSA 10, sequential set, if there's two promos in there or if there's one, whatever it is. A lot of that upside has been eaten away by the few folks that are still holding onto these boxes, trying to maximize and squeeze every single dollar out of them. um Fortunately, I was able to get this box in the beginning of the video. I don't know if you saw. that it had an X-ray authority certification on it. You know, they've been faked a lot. It's for me, it's pretty easy to tell whether or not it's a reseal or not once you see the box in person. There's some telltale signs. I can make another video on that, but you know, I was able to get it at, you know, honestly, not really the greatest price, but a good enough price that I was confident um, in sort of the choice I'd make in opening it. Um, I think sort of, you know, some of the craziness we've seen in the hobby recently is really going for, and sort of one of the reasons why I think these boxes and other similar Japanese exclusive items have really skyrocketed over the last several years is when it comes to like regular hits out of a US English set or a Japanese set, you know, the pop reports to me don't really speak to the full story. If you can have a PSA 10 or, you know, a Beckett 10 pristine or whatever you want, in a 10, you're going to have the English subset of that card in a 10. You're going to have the English subset. You're probably going to have a Chinese variant at this point in other languages. So for me, even though the card can be hard to pull, you'd almost need to add up all of the pop reports to really see the true amount of cards. And as the cards continue to get expensive, um, you know, it stops making sense to me in terms of cards that have, you know, in the hundreds of thousands across all of the languages. Um, you know, the scarcity is just not there. But in these Japanese exclusive cards, like there is no English variant of this. It's really, this is it. And I think that really speaks to why collectors are looking for these, and they're just beautiful. I mean, so these are the two pulls that I got. I'm looking at them in the light studio. I don't see anything wrong with these. The centering looks great. There's no scratches. I look at them under a loop, sort of in this light studio, front and back. I'm highly confident that I'm going to get a sequential 10 set. If you want to see how it turns out, follow and subscribe.